Hello to you, Jack Willard here. The name of our brief video responding to the Bob Joyce Trolls and the EP Protectors. I don't think I have to explain who I'm talking about when I mention the initials EP. We've been doing this topic for over 6 years now, and I can tell you that it is still your favorite topic. The amount of emails I'm getting, also comments that you make in the pre-recorded videos here at the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned. We have many Elvis/Bob Joyce videos up for you to peruse, and also in the live shows that we often do on Saturday nights, Worldwide Ramblings. Not every Saturday night, but so many of those Saturdays, 10:30 p.m. East Coast time when we do them. And sometimes we do one or two during the week, usually in the late evening, because I find that you get a very special audience. The night people are really special. So we enjoy doing that, and I'm so grateful for your response. Now, when you do a topic like this, or any topic really, on any channel, you're going to get some trolls. They can actually be good for viewing. But when it becomes a persistent mission, when they target those in the viewing audience and challenge them, repeating the same thing over and over, making fun of them, that's a different story. We can't have that. I would suggest, if you feel that strongly that Bob Joyce is not Elvis, you start your own channel or join one of the Facebook groups that would agree with you. There seems to be far more groups on Facebook that believe Bob Joyce is Elvis, but all of these groups seem to be run by control freaks. It's not my thing, although you will find some good material on there. So we just ask here that you be fair and that you let people have fun. And if you disagree, don't keep repeating the same thing over and over, challenging everything they say. As for the Elvis Protectors, they're on a mission. There's no doubt about it. Some are self-appointed. Maybe some have been sent. But they just come on. They don't watch the videos. They come on and they repeat the same things over and over. People that make points that don't watch the videos often give no foundation. They just say it matter-of-factly, and you're supposed to accept that and censor the topic from now on, you know. But it doesn't work that way. The things we talk about here, we provide a lot of material, a lot of research from sources, and when you get to over 60 coincidences, you begin to think there may be some fire that goes along with all this smoke that's billowing. You know what I mean? So one of the things that I hear is there's been no major breaking news in a long time. Well, that's not true. I mean, 2023 was full of breaking news in this arena. It began with the awful, tragic death of Lisa Marie Presley. And the very Sunday after her passing, the next Sunday, there was a public memorial at Graceland. Priscilla Presley was there. Pastor Bob Joyce was not there. He was preaching opposite that public memorial at Household of Faith. The church made a big deal of promoting that the pastor would be there that Sunday, and he was. Now, over at the public memorial in Memphis at Graceland, yes, there was a tall man with a white beard and a mustache and white thick hair. There was any man, and there were several that showed up at that public memorial, was suspect of being Bob Joyce, but we know he wasn't Benton. The man that we see getting off a private playing with the Presley family. And then later we see him helping Priscilla on or off the stage, or both. Was tall and lanky, was not built like Pastor Bob. And again, we know that he was in Benton. Now, a few weeks later, on possibly the 28th of January 2023, there was a private funeral. And it was reported on TMZ that it was going to be happening. They may have given the date as the 27th, but the funeral card that I was sent said the 28th, and there is no way for me to authenticate this funeral card. I received the funeral card from one of my sources just a few weeks after the private funeral. And I held it because I didn't feel right about using it. You know, I thought it was a bridge too far. We're never out to hurt Pastor Bob in any way. Since a lot of people that think like me that Elvis may be alive voice their opinions, we're used to being called crazy. You know, the majority of the people think we're crazy, and that would work for Elvis if he was still alive, right? So I held it till the fall of 2023, when other people started sending me the funeral card, and I realized they were posting it. So the point was moot then, and then I finally showed the funeral card in a video. But what I have is, first of all, the funeral card is very small print. Yes, there's a glare issue. And I explain that. I also read what's on the funeral card. Now, maybe if you stop the video and take a picture of the screen, you can then come in close on the card and you'll be able to see what's actually on it. But I don't have a great copy of it. And even when I read it, I have to put my Dollar Tree readers on. It's hard to read. It's hard to read. So I have two copies, one with Lisa Marie. This one, Lisa Marie Funeral Service Booklet, it says there. Some of the order of service didn't make it on that one, and didn't make it on this one either. I know the glare is bad. I'm just showing you that I have it. And when I put on my readers, as opposed to my prescription glasses, I can read some of it. We can see that it says January 28th, 11 a.m., Graceland Memorial, Lisa Marie Presley, and Bob Joyce, pastor, officiating. That's what it says here. I cannot authenticate it. It could be completely fake. We see that Anita Baker participated in the service. Tom Presley sang 2 songs, according to this funeral card. We have speculated that he could be the love child of Elvis Presley. You can see Tom, who kind of bears a resemblance to Dennis Quaid. You can see him here on YouTube. He sings. He has some workout. And judge for yourself. But we also show a picture of Elvis with a young child, young Elvis holding a young child, and we propose the question, could that be Tom Presley as a young boy? We don't know, but we ask the question. As we look further at the service, we see other people participating. Austin Butler sings both the open and the closing song. I believe he did the same thing at the memorial. We see scripture reading, and the card indicates Bob Joyce rolling hills. Well, what is rolling hills? Then we found out that Elvis Presley bought this huge parcel of land, acres of land, and it was called Rolling Hills. He bought it for his father, Elvis. Then just a few months before Elvis was said to have passed away, that land was sold. That land was sold. So make of that what you will. Some people say, well, Rolling Hills was Graceland, but from what we looked at and from what other people were saying, Rolling Hills indicates the plot of land that Elvis bought for his father. So we have the eulogy, and it says, Pastor Bob Joyce. So there you go. That's just one of the things, potentially a very powerful piece of audience that we presented for the first time in 2023. Many people come on and say this over and over, get the DNA results, get the DNA, and then you'll know for sure. Well, we live in America. We're not going to hold Pastor Bob Joyce down and take his DNA. And I don't think even if we did, we could link it. We could get our hands on the Elvis DNA and compare the two. So I often wonder why people say that over and over again, but they do. Another thing that the trolls and potentially EP protectors say is that the name was sold. The name Elvis Presley was sold to Elvis Presley Enterprises, EP Enterprises. And so therefore he couldn't say that he is Elvis Presley, even if he was, he could be sued. He could be sued. Well, think about what you're saying. If Elvis Presley were alive and he wanted to come out of the closet, so to speak, not wait for you to read a book that would be released after he died, but he wanted to say it now, I think EP Enterprises would be very glad to work with him and give him permission to do so. We remember that when Elvis Presley was said to have died in August of 1977, the sales for his records, his memorabilia, anything Elvis, the sales went through the roof. I think it was Colonel Parker that said Elvis is worth more dead than when he was alive. So I think we're talking about $1 billion proposition if all of a sudden in 2024, Elvis Presley came on the scene saying, yes, it's me, and this is why I did what I did, and I have it all here in a book, and this is what I plan to be doing now for the rest of the time God gives me on this earth. People go to Household of Faith. Many of you fortunate enough to get into the sanctuary to hear the pastor preach, but it's becoming a hot ticket. There's only 100 seats, and people can travel internationally, as people do every week, and end up in the fellowship hall watching on closed circuit TV. I can tell you to get there early, but there's still only about 100 seats. So it's becoming a tough ticket. It's like getting in to see Saturday Night Live or something on the standby line. But people go, and then they fellowship later on. I have a picture of Pastor Bob and Willina sitting at a table in the fellowship hall. Everybody knows that Elvis's favorite soda was Dr. Pepper. And sure enough, there's Pastor Bob, and right in front of him is a diet Dr. Pepper. Okay, so there's one more thing. Someone just sent me a picture of Elvis Presley's hand and Pastor Bob Joyce's hand. They call the picture, it's from one of the Elvis groups, Little Fingers, saying that Elvis had little fingers and Pastor Bob has little fingers. It looks like the same hand I'm looking at. Looks like the same hand. Lots of people talk about the veins and the scars. It's never been my thing. It's never been my thing. People talk about eye color and what have you. They are totally discounting that the pastor could use colored contact lenses. They don't give any supporting evidence to tell us how they know that. They don't ever give supporting evidence, whereas we give all these coincidences. How much smoke does there have to be where you think, gee, there could be real fire here? There could be real fire. So even on the church website, they are clear that you could end up in the fellowship hall, that sometimes there have been as many as 29 countries. If I've got this right, 29 countries visiting the Household of Faith Sanctuary. You tell me all the time about famous singers. We've got more to say about what you say about that. Potentially past backup singers from Sweet Inspirations, for example, that have been to Household of Faith. We talk about the great Gene Ho, who attends Household of Faith. His son plays in the praise band. Isn't that wonderful? He's a wonderful man, from what I can tell. You all say that. There was almost unanimous consent that Gene Ho was a fantastic guy who has brought George Magazine back, the brainchild of John F. Kennedy Jr. And Pastor Bob has appeared in the magazine. He's written an article on several occasions. Gene Ho is very serious about his faith, and he embraces prophecy. And he believes that Pastor Bob, he says, Pastor Bob Joyce is seen by thousands and thousands of people all over the world on YouTube. And he believes that Pastor Bob will be part of God's end time plans, that he's part of the puzzle. He's part of the puzzle. So you're just continuing to supply more and more insight as you go to Household of Faith and people that study the topic in general. So I'm not planning on doing anything but major breaking news from my end, but I'm giving you a voice because this is clearly the topic you want to continue to talk about. So I will share your thoughts, your observations, and when you allow me, your pictures and what have you. We're always fighting the glare here. But you know, folks, I mean, there's just been so many things we've had to take a look at. I'm not going to repeat it, but if you watch the Verdict 1, which is our most popular video, like 108,000 as I talk to you views. If you watch the Verdict 2, about 85,000 views right now as I speak to you, and many other videos, you will hear the whole story. I even have a video called Maybe Pastor Bob Joyce Isn't Elvis, dealing with the qualified denial he made from the pulpit when they were in the strip mall before they built the new church. The new church is way too small, by the way, and there's only one service. So, you know, we cover that base too. I say some honest insights in there, things that make me wonder, you know. I have a video, is Pastor Bob Joyce the son, you know, the love child son of Elvis Presley? Many of you don't accept that. You don't think that. You think it's Elvis. But I don't know for sure. We just speak of possibilities. I could be wrong about the whole thing. By the way, those of you that say he's too young, people that see him in person say he looks much older. Several people that make a point of telling me that they are in the healthcare field, deal with the elderly, say when they hug him, his frame feels like that of an older man who could be 89 years old. And I also, of course, hear a lot, why don't you just leave him alone? He's ordained to preach the gospel. Give him his privacy. Well, when you choose to begin a public ministry on YouTube, you forego your privacy. You become a public person, and he knew that going in. He knew that going in. So we cover a whole bunch of various topics, but there are plenty of other topics here at the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned. We often do live shows on Saturday night at 10:30 East Coast time, Worldwide Ramblings. We often do one or two during the week. We like to do them in the late night because we find that people pay more attention. The night people are special people, and they've got more time to really focus in on what we're talking about and then participate. We hear from a lot of people from not just the United States of America, but in Wales and London, England, and South Africa. And I think we even heard from Iceland once. So we encourage you to let us know that you're out there. My personal email is jackthefairguy, F-A-I-R, jackthefairguy @gmail.com. Thanks very much for watching.